Members of the Master Race rejoice as this Call of Duty is finally getting an open PC beta, plus more to discuss on the Call of Duty news of the week. After it seemed that Michel Condry was doing his patented exo dodge regarding questions about the PC port, it was announced that September 29th through October 2nd would be the period to play the Call of Duty World War II PC demo, and judging by the minimum specs, which may change at the full release when they actually stop giving a shit about optimization and cramming all those loose ends, but for now it appears that most potatoes can run it, although the game might look like GoldenEye from the Nintendo 64. Of course, Sledgehammer Games isn't doing the actual PC version. That would be far too much work for a studio that's only had 3 years to develop this game. Raven Software is going to be doing it, and they are responsible for the port of COD Online, so maybe it won't be as shit as most of the Call of Duty PC versions. I'm going to be streaming it either on Friday the 29th or Saturday the 30th, so be sure to follow me on Twitch or hit that bell icon on YouTube to get notifications whenever I upload or stream. They also released tons of trailers to hype you up for the Band of Brothers sequel, Call of Duty World War II Story Mode. The campaign trailer starts off with a scene that might happen if you drink too much at the ski lodge and the snowplows aren't paying attention. We cut to hours earlier when we see someone with a gun trying to chase down someone that's not even fighting back. Of course, since it's a white guy being chased and the person with the gun isn't the cops, this doesn't end the way you think it does, much to the surprise of this guy here. Next, they intersperse scenes of talking about what's going to happen and then showing what actually happens. Nothing ever goes according to plan because then the game becomes more predictable than a porn scene. How did this dude with hipster glasses get transported back into the Second World War? Of course, in the cutscenes, all the things around you go to shit and you're stuck holding the bag to overcome insurmountable odds, but it'll be relatively easy in the actual game because the AI will most likely be dumber than the Cash Me Outside chick. How about that? And since so many people now think that being edgy is somehow cool, finally there's scenes for them, like this Jewish POW heading on a train to one of those Holocaust centers, concentration camps, sorry about that spicy, and obviously the villain has some sort of fucked up scar on his face. This lays the groundwork for another Saving Private Ryan-esque cliche movie ripoff in going their own way like a Fleetwood Mac song in order to rescue him. Squabbling back and forth, Michael Bay shots of shit on fire and exploding, a cameo from Anne Frank, inspiration for every 2009 montage ever, let the bodies hit the floor by drowning pool, can't forget about that scene in every Call of Duty trailer where the evil dude points a pistol at you while you're on the ground, and finally some SWAT stickers for the people that feel the need to glorify hate symbols even though they don't understand what it's like to look at them when you're the ones on the other side of it. In the Brotherhood of Heroes trailer, the devs talk about making campaign retell stories because too many World War II vets are senile and kids don't even read history books anymore, especially when there are places that demand that creationism is taught alongside evolution in schools. Sledgehammer Games is still beating the "we hired a historian and use it as an excuse to rack up all of these travel expenses" drum. However, when they ironically get things wrong like magazine drums and cartridge types on the weapons, one really has to question if they're just paying lip service to the people that demand historical accuracy or if they truly care about the fine details. Set the background music to something epic and talk about defining moments in human history and you've got a way to hype up your game. Then are the Meet the Characters trailers, as if we're supposed to give a shit about any of them when we know that they're just some generic stereotype like the drunk, the hard ass, the guy with all the inspiring quotes, the people with random accents for the sake of diversity, and your character who wouldn't even shoot a stray dog that attacked your dad. Really setting the bar high here. Oh, and it seems for that Rousseau trailer, Call of Duty couldn't come up with any better background music, so they just lifted the tune from the Battlefield 1 French DLC, They Shall Not Pass trailer, as if the copying couldn't be more blatant. Now on to slimy shit that Activision, spelled with a $sign, is up to. First, the EB Games Australia website reveals that the map Carrington, which was in the first 2 Call of Duty games and reskinned as Chinatown in Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare Reimagined, is now returning for a 5th time as a bonus for the Season Pass owners. Makes sense that they bring back a map that's been thrown around like a groupie backstage at a rock show from Call of Duty 2, since this game is basically a ripoff of that game anyways. At least we don't have to be annoyed by getting sniped on Carrington, right Jim?
Alright Jim, are you using the MP40 or the 44?
Sniper rifle?
Snipe what? Jim,
Are you playing for the other team?
You don't snipe in Carrington, okay?
And you knew that this was coming. COD points, which is the currency that obfuscates the fact that you're spending actual money for bibbidi bops in the game, is returning for Call of Duty World War II, as you'll get 1,100 of them on launch if you pre-order the game. Fucking pre-order culture, man. There's more shit you get for pre-ordering the game than you do in the actual fucking game itself. Maps, weapon unlocks, XP tokens, COD points, posters, customization items. I guess Call of Duty really is hurting for their sales. Speaking of money grab, grabbing players on Infinite Warfare can now open up supply drops without even having to be on the fucking game, as they've somehow warped the stat tracking website into a place for gambling. As far as how they're getting away with this, you can't actually buy COD points on the website, but you can spend the COD points and keys you currently have in order to open supply drops. However, separating the RNG part of the game is more gaming psychology at work here to get people to spend money on the COD points, since they're making opening supply drops even easier now. I can't wait until one day I inevitably walk into the casino and then find a Call of Duty slot machine to sit down at, and then be unsure how to react about getting the same thing 3 times in a row, since it's bad in the actual game, but good in the slot machine world. Lastly, in Infinite Warfare news, Gesture Warfare was introduced as a featured mode whereby the objective isn't to shoot players with guns at all. You can kill people by flailing your arms around at them with the correct crosshair placement. Similar to gun game, you cycle through various predetermined gestures and the first to 20 kills wins, but it's also like All or Nothing, where you get a biospike and an empty pistol to start, where you can scavenge ammo off of dead enemies. Thus, you could actually shoot people in a shooter game. What a novel fucking idea. This was announced via a live stream in which, big surprise, there were tons of audio balance issues.
You guys have been trying to find numbers and codes all over the place.
And even someone in the media room, who's probably now fired, forgetting to switch the audio lines.
And I ain't come all this way to be scared off our Willis Brain Dead Brigade.
If I'm right, zombies are gonna be the least of our problems in this place.
Yeah, this went on for about the next 2 fucking minutes or so. We did learn via the live stream that the Quartermaster cipher is intended for support purposes, only when support actually bothers to help you out, of course. Yes, I made sure this was powered on, motherfucker! The devs indicated that they had planned on using it for special events, but much like everything else in this game, it's been months and months and months, and nothing has come to fruition. Leaderboards, emblem editor. Even though they're absolutely spot on about people always wanting information and getting spoiled about it. Just wait, for fuck's sake.
Oh, probably about the Halloween stuff? No.
Nah.
Then I will get escorted out of the room, no matter how fast I run.
I don't wanna, why do you guys want to spoil stuff for
Just
everybody?
have some patience.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that seems kind of at odds when you do a live stream to reveal some of the things that you're working on, only to say, nah, we can't talk about it, maybe another time. There wasn't much other concrete news revealed other than hinting at melee-only weapons from zombies being an easy port over to the multiplayer part of the game, finally moving Frontline out of the Kill Confirmed playlist, you'll see how much I hate it in an upcoming Infinite Warfare Rage video, and some, pun intended, cheeky new customization options.
Ever considered butt cheek size customization?
That's the best question.
I'm considering it now.
Yeah.
Gonna go write that one down.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there won't be any new rigs coming, so don't get your hopes up for a fat bot in order to balance out the skinny bot. Anyways, I've been the Schwartz27, making like a banana and splitting. Until next time.
It's beard oil too. Recommend it.
I will try it.
No, well, I mean, I guess it would moisturize, but I don't think that's gonna have the effect that you
Hair
want.
oil, I guess.